Little girl trying to save her island from tourists. She put fire on top of the volcano. It really looks like a volcano erupt. The tourists at the bottom of the mountain were attracted to stop, but the girl didn't think the smoke was big enough. She fanned the fire as hard as she could. The smoke was already causing panic among the tourists, but to scare them more, she took a wooden stick and kept prying the boulders at the top of the mountain. She wanted to make the eruption more realistic. As more and more rocks slid down, the crowd panicked, but little did the girl realize that she was pushing in the wrong direction. She pushed a boulder into the crater of the volcano, and it actually triggered an eruption. It's all over. The girl rushed down. Comment place you want to visit. It turns out that the girl and her father found this deserted island. They've been living here ever since. The girl has become friends with many of the animals here. They've made the island their own. That day her father had to go out to sea. The girl was left alone on the island, but within 2 days, the girl found a yacht with the mark of a pirate on it. She was terrified soon. The girl saw a small boat coming towards the island. A group of men in black boarded the island. They took a look around. They found it to be a treasure trove. It would soon bring them great wealth. And beknownst to them, the girl had been hiding in a tree listening. She heard that the island was going to be taken over by these people. In a few days, a large number of people will come here. The girl was very anxious when they left. Rushed home to call her father, but she couldn't reach him. What she didn't know was that her father had just sailed into a storm. The boat was damaged. She had no time to think about it. She had no choice but to rely on herself to defend her home. She had a lot of plans. But what she didn't expect was that a few days later, instead of pirate, there would be a huge crowd of tourists. The previous group of people were just developers who discovered the tourist conditions with a large number of tourists hit this undeveloped, deserted island. But even so, the girl didn't want her home to become a rubbish dump. She sent her best friend, the sea lion, to sneak over and scare them. But not only did the sea lions not scare the tourists, they also praised the richness of the tourism. The first plan failed. The girl could only watch from afar, watching them transport a toilet block to the island to make money. She was furious, so she was ready to launch plan B. She'd been preparing for days. The flying lizard. The girl put the lizard into the catapult. Then she took a long knife and cut the rope. The lizard flew into the air. It landed directly on the faces of the tourists. It caused a panic. The girl realized that the effect was very good, so she loaded a large number of lizards and fired them at the tourists. People panicked as the lizards fell from the sky. The beach was a mess, but they soon found a solution. The lizards were chased away with torches. The tourists on the beach were back to normal. In order to defend their home from these outsiders, the girl had no choice. She went to the back of the mountain and climbed up. Although there is no safety measure, the girl was not afraid. She lit a bonfire at the top and used the smoke to create illusion of a volcanic eruption to fool the tourists. At the bottom of the mountain, she kept pushing rocks down the mountain to make the eruption more real. Unexpectedly, the volcano actually erupted. By accident, a large amount of thick fog shut up. People on the beach began to flee. They boarded boats to get away from the island. The girl stood on the island and watched the people leave, but she didn't feel any relief because her father had been gone for a week. There was no sign of him. Was worried about the storm that was coming at night. The island was stormy. The girl suddenly realized that her father had returned. She rushed to the shore with her fellow sea lion, seeing the boat in the sea. Girl was even more sure. She swam to the sea on the back of a sea lion. But what she didn't expect was that the one who fell into the sea was actually a woman. They were washed back to shore. The girl wondered who she was, but the woman said she was her mother. The girl didn't believe her. She ran back home. She grew up with her father. Suddenly she had a new mother. It was hard for her to accept. But her father was dead or alive. They sat on the beach every day, waiting for him to return. Finally, a week later, father returned in his homemade sailboat. The two of them were so excited that they ran towards the sea. The girl and her father embraced each other. The ending of the film is still perfect. He looked at the two adults with happiness in their eyes.